day after the telecom regulator announced its reserve price recommendation for the spectrum auction. Industry is up in arms. As we told you, it was likely to. Sources say telcos are planning to write to the government saying that the reserve price for the 700 megahertz band specifically is unviable. Kritika joins us now with the details. Kritika, so it looks like this battle is now going to head to the DOT, and telcos are already crying foul, at least as far as the 700 megahertz pricing is concerned.
Well, it's an all-out bitter pill as far as telecom service providers are concerned. So there are two bone of contention that they have, and they will be writing to the Department of Telecom against the recommendations that the TRAI had released. Now, the first and the most obvious is the 700 megahertz spectrum pricing at 11,500 crore rupees. The telecom companies say that it is unviable and they cannot consider bidding. Even the larger players cannot bid or participate in the auctions. However, what they say is that if it was reduced to 40%, then at least some may have the choice to be able to bid for the auctions. Now, as far as the other point is concerned, it's about 800 megahertz. Now, out of the 76.5 megahertz in the 800 megahertz spectrum band that is available, the TRAI has recommended only 36.5 megahertz roughly to be on offer in the spectrum auctions. So, what the telecom companies say is that in that little bandwidth, it will be very difficult for individual players to be able to balance 800 megahertz, and that's something that is crucial for them to enhance their 3G and 4G services. So they're asking for at least 55 megahertz out of the 800 megahertz spectrum bank. So they obviously do have a lot of other concerns, but these are the two key bone of contention. The only one silver lining is the fact that there is enough of 700 megahertz available and the entire band will be on auction, but it makes no sense if the pricing is so steep.
Well, thanks for that, Kritika. But despite those concerns, clearly TRAI is unperturbed. In fact, speaking earlier in the day to my colleague Prerna Barua, TRAI Chairman Sharma justified the base price recommendations made by them, saying that a lot of deliberations had already gone into that calculation. Listen in.
It is not some kind of, we just came up with a number. It's not like that. There are a lot of studies which have gone into in TRAI framing these reserve prices. And we have done a lot of simulations, we have done, studies around the world and then determined the reserve price. TRAI was asked to give recommendations. We have given our recommendations to the DOT, and obviously the further action has to be taken by the Department of Telecom. We have recommended the reserve price for the entire spectrum which is available. We have not, taken a call that some spectrum band should not be auctioned.
Even as far as the regulation on the differential pricing is concerned, I believe you did say that till 30th you will come out with the final guidelines on that. So by when could we...
Yeah, we are working on that. It's a very tight schedule, but we are trying to see that we should be able to bring out the final position of the TRAI in a couple of days.
Well, that's the regulator. They're defending the spectrum price for the 700 megahertz band. Now, it's been a mixed day for Adani Ports in court. While the Supreme Court has refused to stay the Green Tribunal's decision rejecting the environmental clearance for the Hazira port, it's also provided relief to the company by refusing to intervene in the construction of a port being built in Kerala. Ashmit standing by with a roundup of both cases. Ashmit, so it's win some and lose some for Adani Ports today.
Indeed, a mixed bag for Adani Ports as far as the Supreme Court is concerned. Similar issues at play here. Both Adani Ports, again, both times we have concerns being expressed by local fishermen on account of alleged violations of the local environmental norms, but nonetheless differing positions being taken by the Apex Court. The first one, the Hazira port in Gujarat, the NGT, we understand, had cancelled their environmental clearance. Subsequent to that, their counsel argued today before the Apex Court that the port operations have come to a standstill, that there is a state of dysfunction, that they've made significant investments. They pegged the investment figure at about 3,300 crores. But none of these arguments managing to convince the Supreme Court for granting any interim relief. The Supreme Court refusing to stay that NGT order, and also in fact observing that prima facie it appears that there is not sufficient evidence to suggest that they are in fact, that the systems that they speak of are in fact working, are functioning with respect to compliance with environmental norms. That's of course the first part. The second of course had to do with the Kerala port, and here again we have the issue of environmental clearance. Adani Ports again argued before the Apex Apex Court that they have the environment clearances, that consultations have been done. And over here, the Apex Court took a very different position. The Apex Court observed that this is a project of strategic importance. It has the potential to boost trade and commerce, that these national projects cannot be held hostage to concerns expressed by local fishermen. So again, different positions these. So a mixed day essentially for Adani Ports in the Apex Court.
All right, Ashmit, appreciate you joining us with that. But let's now talk about something that auto enthusiasts have been waiting for very closely. Ford's sleek sports car, the Mustang, which was popularized by Sean Connery in the James Bond movie Goldfinger over 50 years ago, is all set to make its India debut. The two-door coupe will for the first time come in a right-hand drive and will also make its entry into markets like the UK, South Africa and New Zealand. To date, the Mustang has sold over 9 million units and will make its much-awaited launch here in the second quarter of the calendar year, or any time between April and June. Ron caught up with Nigel Harris, the president of Ford India, on Mustang's entry.
This is probably the big change that's really affected a lot of the right-hand drive markets, and that is for the first time the car's available in right-hand drive. And in reality, markets like India, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, UK, they've actually wanted the Mustang for a long time, but it was never available because it was only left-hand drive. So that's, accessibility, or having the vehicle available to bring it as right-hand drive, that was really important. But there's also a performance culture in India, no doubt about it. There's a sportiness. There's more and more younger people are looking for more expression on their vehicles, and you see it on the roads more and more every day. Whether it's a modified small Ford, or right up into the high performance supercars, you're starting to see them on Indian roads.
Iconic brand, Ron, but price, or does it really matter what the price is going to be?
No, actually, see, so far they haven't released the price yet. So as and when they launch the car, they're going to announce the price. But the sense that we are getting is that it's going to be anywhere between 45 and 55 lakh rupees. And if they do that, that's going to be a killer price. And if you increase my salary, I might also be able to afford one.
We'll have to
maybe with time.
All right, so from one iconic brand to another iconic brand, a BlackBerry running on the Android OS. Impossible, you think? Well, that's what a hardcore BlackBerry fan would have said 5 years ago. But times have changed. Meet the BlackBerry Priv on today's edition of Tech Toys. Megha unveils the latest from the BlackBerry stable.
If BlackBerry was a damsel in distress, then it appears that Android may be the knight in shining armor. Yes, you heard that right. The company's all-new device, the BlackBerry Priv, is powered by Android, and it looks like the company hopes that this would be enough to slay the evil dragon that is dwindling market share. Let's introduce you to this black beauty. The BlackBerry Priv packs in a 5.4-inch Quad HD display, a Qualcomm Snapdragon 808 processor clubbed with 3GB of RAM. The Priv includes an 18-megapixel camera that is capable of recording HD videos and a massive 3410 mAh battery. Now here's the clincher that's sure going to bring a smile on every true BlackBerry fan's face. Underneath this crisp display is the hardware keyboard, which includes some really cool touch-sensitive features. The Priv stands for privacy. BlackBerry has added an extra layer of security on Android with its app called BlackBerry Detect that scans each app on the phone. So on the Priv, one can enjoy BlackBerry keyboard with Google's diverse range of apps and an iOS-like security. What else? Oh, the price. The BlackBerry Priv can be yours for 62,990 rupees. Want me to repeat? It's 62,990 rupees. And we are curious to know how BlackBerry justifies that.
I do agree with you. At this price point, it is not something that it's accessible to all consumers. But we strongly believe that there's an underserved market, even in India, who value a lot of the productivity suites that we offer, a lot of security and privacy and how we handle privacy and all that, which is today not provided by any other Android player out there.
The Priv will be available in India on 30th January on Amazon.in and in authorized retail stores. Well, there is no denying that the pricing is a little steep, especially for an Android phone. After all, there are several other flagships out there that are cheaper and still get the job done. I'm guessing you'd have to be a BlackBerry boy or a girl, I mean, we are politically correct that way, to give this instrument a go. But you do tell me what you think. You can reach out to me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @megavishwanath. Do not forget to hashtag TechToys. I would love to hear from you. And while you're at it, I'm going to go off and play around with this device a little more to get you a more comprehensive review of the Blackberry Priv. That's all we have for you today. See you next time.